Hey everybody, Moarhammer here. I've got another battle report for you. This one is my Khorne against Bretonnians, and it's the first time I've ever played Bretonnians, believe it or not. So you know it's going to be a good one, and I was very, very scared. So I'll get right into it, right after the army breakdown. So here is a picture of deployment, and as you can see we are playing widthways this time. We are playing one of the battle plans out of probably Galmaraz, I can't remember which one exactly, called The Ritual, I believe, and it's the one where one of the sides has to complete some sort of ritual, summon some sort of dark thing or light thing, whatever have you, and then win. So on his side, on the right hand's far right, there's a little horse statue, and that is the ritualistic thing. He's trying to do some ritual. We thought it'd be quite interesting to swap. So it's the Order characters trying to perform this ritual and the Chaos trying to stop it. So that's what we're doing. So that's the ritual. The idea is in every hero phase he rolls a dice, adds +1 for every wizard or priest within, I think, sort of 12 inches, and -1 for every priest or wizard of the enemy within 36 inches. I've only got one, my Slaughter Priest. So he basically needs to roll well and get it up before I can get there and stop it. And my Bloodthirster has the command ability that he can destroy it if he starts the hero phase within range of it, within 3 inches. So that was kind of the idea. So the deployment is, as you can see it, on my side, starting right at the top, I've got Scar Bloodwrath. Then I've got a unit of 20 Marauders, behind which is a Slaughter Priest. Then I've got a unit of 10 Skull Reapers with a Skull Grinder in the middle. Then I've got just the other side of them, I've got a Blood Secretor, 10 more Skull Reapers with a Blood Stoker, just kind of behind them. Also with my Bloodthirster. And I've got 10 Flesh Hounds and Stompy McStompface, my Soul Grinder. Named by the internet. Then on his side, starting at the top again, he's got a unit of 20 Peasants. Or militia, whatever they are, militia peasant people. Then he's got a big unit of sort of 6 or 7 or 8 Grail Knights with a Paladin and a Battle Standard Bearer guy. And then he's got, just down from there, he's got another unit of Knights of some description. And he's also got a Yeoman with like an axe in there somewhere. I'm not sure if he's a Paladin or what he is, but he's something. He's also got a lady on a horse in those horses somewhere. So yeah, there's that as well. Then by the ritual thing, he's got 2 damsels just chilling doing their thing. And then behind that wall, there's a trebuchet with 4 crew, 3 Pegasus Knights, and then right on the bottom, another 20 bowmen. And I need these guys to be quite nasty, so my plan was to just try and smash them in their face as fast as possible. That's exactly why I put Stompy there. Because he was going to go after them. So, I finished deploying first, so I decided to go first. Because I really wanted to smash those yeoman people in their faces. So I kind of push everything forward largely a bit tentatively. I do use the Bloodthirster's command ability on Stompy, and I whip the Flesh Hounds. Reason being, I knew Stompy could, with the +1 to his charge, plus he's got a 12-inch move. He can run and charge, he can run and shoot. So I ran him, and he bombed up the board really fast. I didn't need the extra 3 inches from the whip. So I decided to whip the Flesh Hounds on the off chance they could get a long charge also into the bowmen, just to get them that extra distance they needed to be. But my units of Marauders and Skull Reapers, I kind of move up a bit tentatively, just because I didn't want to get hit by the horses too far up. I wanted him to come to me a bit more, but also then I planted my Blood Secretor's banner. I opened the Portal of Skulls, so if he did charge me, I'd be able to counterattack with +1 attack on everything. But that's what my movement looks like. In the shooting phase, because Stompy can run and shoot, I did decide to do that. I ended up killing like one bowman. It wasn't a big deal. That's all my shooting, so we go jump straight to the charge phase. And Stompy McStompface makes it into the peasant bowman. My flesh hounds do fail, unfortunately, by an inch. I needed to roll an 8 and I rolled a 7. I can re-roll because they're flesh hounds and I rolled another 7. So idiots. It's the only combat we've got, so I had to attack with them. Sorry about the glare in this picture, but it's just you can't see past the awesomeness of Stompy smashing the faces of a bunch of peasants in. It was pretty grand, to be honest. So yeah, I murder about 9 or 10 of them. He doesn't do anything to me back. He rolls badly on his battle shock, and they all disappear, which is fantastic. I've heard stories of peasant bowmen, so I'm really glad to have them out of the way. So, with that being the only combat, we go into his turn, and this is what he does. He just pretty much piles everything forward. He rolls like pretty poorly on his dice roll for the ritual. He rolls like a 2. He's -1 because of my Slaughter Priest, but he's +3 for his 3 wizards, so he gets 4 altogether, and he needs to get to 20, if I didn't explain that already. So, yeah, he's a fifth of the way there, so we'll see. Other than that, all his knights and peasant people charge forward. His Pegasus knights come around to deal with my Soul Grinder. In the shooting phase, he fires his Trebuchet at my Skull Reapers with the Demon Blades, and he doesn't do too great. He does 2 wounds to 1, which is good by me. And with that being everything done, we go into the assault phase, the charge phase. And he has some charges. His militiamen charges my marauders here. And that's going to be an interesting fight. Just a bunch of idiots hitting each other. His big unit of knights plus his general and paladin with standard bearer slam into these Skull Reapers. And I was a bit nervous about this. So these guys could do some serious damage. So I was a bit nervous. And then over here, this unit slam into the including the paladin, slam into the Skull Reapers here. So, yay. And then over here, the Pegasus Knights slam into Stompy McStompface, and that was probably going to end fine. So he does start to attack with... I actually think he attacks maybe with his general first, as opposed to the rest of the knights. I can't remember quite. But either way, he murders one and puts 2 wounds onto another, so it does pretty nicely. So then I decided to attack straight back with Stompy because he clearly had some sort of plan for this. I didn't know what these guys could do in combat. I assumed they were not too bad. So I hit him back. I kill one whole Pegasus Knight and put 2 wounds onto another, I believe. So that's a pretty good start for that. And so he attacks with, I think, his Paladin on standard now, and he does another couple of wounds. I'm killing an additional Skull Reaper. So I pile on with these Skull Reapers against the Knights, and I don't do too badly. I kill 2 Knights altogether and put a wound onto another. I do, it's fine. I'm alright with that. It's okay. It's a good start. So then he attacks with the... it was the normal Knights attacking first. He attacks with the General now, and he only does another wound to 1 Skull Reaper, so he rolls pretty poorly, and yeah, who can blame him? So overall, that charge wasn't nearly as devastating as I thought it was going to be, but could have been worse. So I decided to pile with my Skull Grinder. I was within 3 inches of all of his stuff, and I could manage to put myself within 2 inches of his General. So I managed to take a big swing at his general with my 3 attacks because of the Blood Secretor, and I smash his face in. It was fantastic. I just rolled out of the box. 3 hits, 3 wounds. He failed 2 of his saves, takes 6 wounds, and just dies. Which also, because of the Skull Grinder's special rule, means that I blood blessed a bunch of stuff now. So the Skull Reapers, the Soul Grinder himself, and the Marauders, every time they get a hit on a 4+, they make 2 wound rolls instead of 1, so that was going to make these units absolutely murderous, just total killing machines, which I really like. So yeah, go Skull Grinder. So he piles in over here with his yeoman next, the militia people. He kills one or two marauders. Like nothing really happens of any significance in this game. So I partnered with my Skull Reapers next, and like I said, they were blood blessed from the Skull Grinder, so this was going to hurt, I hoped at least, and oh boy it does. Oh, it was brutal. I bring down a total of 5 knights, plus the paladin on standard, with another one of my Skull Reapers, which is absolutely brutal. A number of attacks. You get more wound rolls than I got attacks in the first place. It was just brutal. So yeah, that was absolutely fantastic to bring all those guys down. So he attacks over here with his Pegasus Knights, and he's able to smash a total of 7 wounds through on the Soul Grinder, which is absolutely brutal. I think this was including the fact they get to attack twice. So when they charge, they can pile and attack twice because reasons. I'm pretty sure that's what this was happening. So, yay! Then I pile with my Marauder Horseman against the Yeoman, and I kill 1 or 2. Again, no significance. So, hey, that's fine. So, with that being the end of his turn, we go into the initiative roll-off, and he wins it, which was not the worst time in the world for him to win it, because otherwise I would have just probably smashed the rest of his army off. And he basically just flees with almost everything. He doesn't flee with his militiamen because there's no point, but all of his knights and attached characters decide to flee. Because there's no point in them being in combat, they'll just die quicker. He gets he rolls another dice for the ritual and puts it up to 7 total. Again, he's rolling really bad. He's rolling 1s or 2s every turn, so it's not going up that fast. But it's going up, and that's kind of what he's aiming for, I guess. So his Paladin, Pegasus Knights run away as well. And other than that, not a whole lot happens. His shooting phase, it's, again, fairly insignificant. I think he kills a couple of... He puts a wound on 2 onto some Skull Reapers, but nothing massive. And there's only one combat, so he attacks with that one first, the Militia, and he's able to stab 3 Marauders to death, which is absolutely of no significance. I pile him back, and I kill 1 or 2. No big deal at all. So that being the end of the combat phase, we jump straight to my turn, and I move around like this. Stompy runs to the other side of that wall. The Bloodthirster kind of jumps up. We did say he's standing on that bit of terrain, but we're using wobbly model syndrome rules. He uses command ability on himself, because I really want to try and get him into either those fleeing Pegasus Knights or the Trebuchet. Fleshhounds come up. Other than that, just everything moves forward a little bit. Hopefully going to get some charges. I don't do too much running in case I got some charge. My Bloodsecrator does pick up his banner and run forward as well, so he's not giving out his banner. In the shooting phase, I breathe some Hellfire Breath at the Trebuchet, and I kill a crewman. But then when I try to hit him with my big flail, I miss. Because I'm an idiot. That's all the shooting I have. At least the Stomp phase doesn't do anything. So we slam straight into the Trebuchet. Both of them do. They don't quite. I was hoping that one of them might make it into the Pegasus Knights. They don't, so I just slam them both into that Trebuchet. And those 3 crewmen. In my other charges, over here, my Skull Grinder, this unit of Skull Reapers charge into over here. And my Slaughter Priest also comes in. He's at the top left there of that combat. That character right in the middle, the black and white knight, is the paladin on a horse. So I managed to get my Skull Grinder into base contact with him. I was hoping to just smash his face in again. And that would actually blood bless the Slaughter Priest as well, which would be fantastic. I also charged Scar Bloodwrath into the back here, and I was really looking forward to this because I've never managed to get this guy into combat with a unit of just infantry before. And because that was the case, I do decide to attack with him first before anything else happened, or they ran away or stabbed him or anything like that. So attack with him first, uses Bloodstorm Blade ability, which instead he makes 1 attack for every model within 3 inches, and it just just absolute carnage. Murders 9 or 10, 11? Like 10 or 11 of these militia. It was absolutely brutal. I had a great time. So that was a lot of fun. And then over here, he attacks with his yeoman against my Skullgrinder, and he's able to put 2 wounds onto him, which is not too bad. I've still got 3 left, and I'm in fairly good shape. So I do decide to attack with my Bloodthirster next, and he doesn't actually fully manage to kill the trebuchet. It's got 1 wound left on it, and then all the yeomen are still alive, so with militia. So yeah, that was a bit disappointing, considering I'm a Bloodthirster. So then he piles in his knights over here. He tries to attack the Slaughter Priest quite a lot, puts 2 wounds onto him, and then I think he puts another wound onto the Skull Reapers, but no real significant damage. Then over here I attack with my Marauders. I'm able to kill another 3 yeomen of the 3 militia, which was absolutely fine. There's no way they can not disappear from battle shock now, so yay. And he attacks straight back with his remaining 2 and kills 2 Marauders because they're idiots. Then over here, Stompy McStompface brings up, and he doesn't fail me. He stomps good and wipes out that trebuchet, which is fantastic. And he's actually out of stuff to fight with at this point, so I attack with my Skullgrinder. He flings his flail around and smashes the remaining paladin in his head. He goes down, not swinging. He just goes down. And that also causes my Slaughter Priest to be blessed, as well as everything else again, I guess, but it doesn't give me any additional benefit. So then I just attack with my Slaughter Priest, and he does really well because he was blood blessed. Oh, it was brutal. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I've got like 2 hits, which goes up to 4, and he just rolled absolute pants for his saves, and 3 knights die because they're 2 damage each, which is fantastic. So like I said, we go into battle shock. The remaining yeoman over here runs away. And that's all we have left. So, that being the turn, we go to the initiative roll-off. And I win it this time, which is not good for my opponent at all. I'm still not within range to destroy the ritual thing. But I am in range to do some more damage to his army and hopefully take off most of what he's got left. So I wrap around like this, not a whole lot of finesse to my movements, just trying to envelop stuff. With my Bloodthirsters far forward, I was hoping I might be able to get a charge onto that damsel next to the ritual, just because then I would just be starting there next turn. And that'd be ideal. So we go into the shooting phase first of all. My Bloodthirster uses axe, takes aim at that damsel on a horse and just destroys her. 6 damage, nothing she could do. Just take it off in an absolutely gruesome way. And I can't help but laugh. Other than that, there's no shooting. At least Stompy's shooting doesn't do anything. So I do some charges, and I don't manage to make it into that damsel next to the ritual. So my Bloodthirster, Fleshhounds, and Stompy all slam into the Pegasus Knights, and I was hoping that would do the damage. Over here, my Skull Reapers and Skullgrinder again slam into the Knights here, and my Laughter Priest over there slams into the Damsel. So I decide to attack with my Skullgrinder first because I'm just a big fan of how this guy's performing today. He swings with his big old mallet and smashes 3 more knights apart, which is fantastic. This guy is so brutal. I love the Skullgrinder. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. And so he attacks with his Pegasus Knights next. It doesn't do a whole lot. I think he puts a wound on my Bloodthirster, maybe. It just doesn't do very well at all. Yeah, he puts a wound on my Bloodthirster. So I decided to attack back next with my with Stompy, and he does fine. He kills a Pegasus Knight and puts a couple of wounds onto another, and I'm fairly confident my Bloodthirster can finish him off soon. Then his damsel attacks my Laughter Priest and is able to not do a single thing because reasons. I swing straight back for cinematic purposes and boom! Just it feels really, really sexist, just pummeling that one damsel with like this 8-foot guy with a massive axe. But hey ho, she got in the way, and Khorne cares not from whence the blood flows. So, speaking of that, these Skull Reapers then pile around that remaining knight, and surprisingly not, should I say, able to absolutely annihilate him. Yeah, it was not hard, and that's fantastic. So we're nearly there. My Bloodthirster attacks next, and is able to kill that remaining Pegasus Knight with relative ease, leading me to this shot where it's the end of the turn, so it's the start of his turn. He rolls on the ritual, rolls up to a 9, so he's just on 9 now, which isn't very good. He's just rolling really pants for that. If he'd rolled 6s the entire time, he probably would have won the game at this point, unfortunately. But Celebi, he's got nothing else he can do. I jump my Bloodthirster across, whip the damsel, she gets smeared across the countryside, and there you have it. That is the end of the game right there, because he's been tabled. Even though I didn't fully technically stop the ritual, it would have happened next turn, and he couldn't have got up to 20, and he's got nothing left on the board. So that's the end of the game. It was a really, really fun game. This Khorne army, it turns out, is in a couple of games it seems to be steamrolling people, but hey ho, it happens. So yeah, it's still a very fun game. We were laughing the whole way through. I don't think he's actually had a chance to use his Bretonnians yet, so he's quite eager to see what they do. And they weren't nearly as damaging as either of us thought they were going to be on the charge. That first initial charge on this first turn, we both thought they were going to do a lot more damage than they did. So that was a bit disappointing. But nevertheless, it was a fun game, a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. But we will have a rematch in the future, I'm sure. I'm sure he'll want to beat more down for the lady or something, or some such thing. So, thanks so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel, or leave a comment below if you didn't like it, or if you did. Do what you want. It's a free country. And also, you can follow me on Twitter at MoreWarGames for all the most recent updates on stuff that I'm doing. Even though I'm not getting much time to do stuff at the moment. So, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.